Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm David Calhoun, and I'm excited to speak to you today. This isn't just any talk. This is the signature message of Nevertheless movement. Our theme this month is the power of Nevertheless, how to shine when everything tries to dim your light. Now think about that title for a second. How to shine when everything tries to dim your light. Have you ever felt like life was stacking up obstacles trying to darken your world? I have. Maybe you felt overwhelmed by challenges, criticized by others, or held back by setbacks. I think we've all been there at some point. But here's why we're here today: to learn how to shine nevertheless. Nevertheless. It is a simple word, yet it is so powerful. It means in spite of all of that. It's the word that flips your story. It's what you say after you've been told no, or after you've hit a wall, or you've faced a major setback. Nevertheless, I will keep going. Today, I want to show you how nevertheless can become your personal mantra, a guiding light when things get dark. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore this idea in 3 parts. I'll share some stories, some personal and some familiar, all centered on resilience and the nevertheless mindset. We'll draw out key coaching takeaways and mindset shifts you can apply to your own very life right now. And throughout, I'll be using motivational language. They may be asking a few rhetorical questions. So feel free to nod or to shout yes, or just reflect quietly, whatever feels right to you. So if you're ready to discover your power of nevertheless, let's dive in. I want to start with a story from my own life. See, several years ago, I hit a major setback. I felt like I was at rock bottom. I was facing a situation where everything was going wrong all at one time. I had lost a job opportunity that I had put my hopes on. I was struggling financially. And on top of all of that, someone that I trusted told me, maybe you should just settle for less. Maybe your dreams are too big. It was as if life was trying to say, give up. Your light isn't meant to shine. So to be honest, I felt crushed. Have you ever had a moment like that where you start to believe the naysayers, you start to believe the negative voices all around you, and you believe the negative voices in your own head? It was in that moment I almost did believe them. I almost dimmed my light. I almost gave up on my dream. But then something shifted. I remember sitting alone one evening, writing in my journal and pouring out all of my frustrations. Page after page of reasons I should quit spilled out. And then I wrote a word that changed everything. That word was nevertheless. I wrote, I feel like a failure. Nevertheless, I'm not giving up. I wrote, I have no idea of how I should move forward. Nevertheless, this is not the end of my story. And as I wrote that word nevertheless again and again, I felt a spark on the inside of me. It was like I had struck a flint on a stone. A tiny flame appeared in all of that darkness. Nevertheless became my rallying cry. It meant that in spite of the challenges, I would persist. It was a declaration that the setbacks were just a chapter, not my whole story. And friends, listen, the moment I embraced nevertheless, I found new strength. I started applying for jobs with a fresh determination. I reached out to mentors who would encourage me. I doubled down on my skills. And every time I heard that discouraging voice, whether it was from others or it was my own, I answered with, nevertheless, I will try one more time. And you know what? Things began to change. Within a few months, I landed an even better opportunity than the one that I had lost. That eventually led me to start this movement. I am sitting here today because of that one word, nevertheless. I turned my obstacle into fuel. Every no became more motivation to find a yes. Every setback became a stepping stone. Here's your lesson. You have the power to choose nevertheless. You can't always control what happens to you, the setbacks, the unfair twist of life, but you can control your response. That response, that determination in the face of adversity is what Nevertheless is all about. It's a mindset, a decision, a line in the sand that says, no matter what tries to stop me, I'm going to shine. I'm going to shine bright like a diamond. Let me make this practical for you. Think about a moment that challenged you, or a moment that you're challenging right now in your life. It could be a big one, or it can be a very small one. It can be something at work, a personal goal, a relationship struggle, maybe even self-doubt that's been creeping in little by little. You got one in mind? Now, silently, in your mind, acknowledge that challenge. I am struggling with, and you fill in the blank. And now I want you to say this next word to yourself with conviction. Nevertheless. Nevertheless what? Nevertheless, you will overcome it. Nevertheless, you won't let it stop you. Nevertheless, you are committed to shining in spite of it. Do you feel that shift? Do you feel that shift? That's the power that I'm talking about. When you add nevertheless to your story, you reclaim your power. The narrative changes from this is the end to this is a challenging middle, but the story is not over. You transform from a passive character to the hero of your story. And trust me, every hero we admire has had their nevertheless moment. Think about any great person in history or in your life. They faced hardships or doubt and decided, nevertheless, I'm going to continue. Thomas Edison, after thousands of failed attempts at inventing the light bulb, famously he said, it wasn't a failure. He just found 10,000 ways that did not work. Nevertheless, he kept experimenting until the bulb lit. Think about J.K. Rowling. Early in Harry Potter's manuscripts, she was rejected by dozens of publishers. Nevertheless, she kept submitting. She kept believing in her story. And eventually, the world believed in it too. These stories are success stories, but they weren't smooth. They were filled with obstacles. The difference maker was the one word that we've been talking about all day, nevertheless. So as we wrap up this first part, remember this. When life says no, answer back with nevertheless. It's the bridge from your adversity to your triumph. It's the mindset that turns your obstacle into fuel. Now that you've been seeing how adopting the idea of nevertheless on a personal level, let's talk about the forces that often make us need a nevertheless mindset in the first place. See, people and situations try to dim our light and how we can shine through anyway. Life isn't a solo journey. We live, we work, and dream among others. Family, friends, colleagues, even strangers. And while many people lift us up, there are times when others might try to dim our light. Sometimes it's outright. Someone tells you, you can't do that, or be realistic. Other times it's subtle. It's a lack of support when you thought you would get it from that person, or the environment that you're in is just very negative and it weighs you down. Let's address that head on. What do you do when the world around you seems to discourage you? What do you do? What do you do when you're trying to shine and someone says, stop, you are too bright? What do you do? What do you do when they say, who do you think you are? I'm sure many of you have been in that position. Maybe a boss or a teacher doubted your potential. Maybe a family member, out of concern, advised you to play it safe when your heart wanted you to take that risk. Maybe society has labeled you and your dream as impractical. These moments truly hurt, and they can make us question ourselves. I want to share a quick story of my friend. Her name is Lisa. Lisa dreamed of starting her own business. She had a passion and a clear vision. When she announced her plans, not everyone was enthusiastic. In fact, one person she really respected told her, most new businesses fail. You should just stick to your main job. Don't shine too bright and attract failure. Can you imagine someone saying, don't shine too bright? It was well intended, maybe, but it felt like a bucket of cold water that was thrown on her fire. Lisa felt her excitement dimming. She began to doubt herself, hearing that voice in her head. Maybe they're right. Maybe I am not cut out for this. But then Lisa remembered our favorite word. She said to herself, nevertheless, I'm going to try. She decided that she would not be the one to dim her own light, even if others were uncomfortable with how bright she shined. She worked evenings and weekends to start her business. Even as the skepticism around her was swirling, she didn't give up. Whenever she hit a snag or someone said, I told you so, she responded internally with, nevertheless, I'm moving forward. Fast forward a year. Lisa launched her business, and guess what? It wasn't easy. There were plenty of hurdles that she had to jump over. But today, she's running a successful company and loving it. Those same people who doubted her now say, wow, I'm glad you didn't listen to me. Lisa, her light is so bright, and in fact, it's lighting the way for others, inspiring other people who want to be entrepreneurs in her community to step up and move forward. The lesson from Lisa's story is this: no one gets to dim your light without your permission. People might throw shade, they might throw doubt, criticism, they're gonna throw it at you. But you gotta decide whether or not you're gonna accept it or shrug it off. You might need to shake it off. Shake it off and say, nevertheless, I will shine. So who actually has the power to turn down the brightness of your inner light? It might feel like others do, but in truth, the only person that can truly dim your light is you. If you start believing the negative voices and shrink back, that's when the light begins to fade. But if you hold steady, if you keep that nevertheless mindset, your light will continue to glow. It may flicker during tough times, but it will not be extinguished. Hard times may dim your light, but they can never extinguish it. So, how do we keep shining when faced with negativity or doubt? Let's break down a few key mindset shifts in order for this to happen. Remember your why. Why do you want to shine? Maybe it's your passion for art. Maybe it's your desire to help others, your goal to provide for your family, or simply you want to live life to the fullest. Keep that reason in the forefront of your mind. When others try to cloud your vision, reconnect to your purpose, your inner light, and it will strengthen your resolve. Refrain from negativity. When someone says you can't, when you hear that from somebody, challenge that. Challenge that. Say, you know what? I'm going to accept the challenge. Use it as fuel. If someone expects you to fail, let that light fire on inside of you so that you can succeed nevertheless. Often, nothing is sweeter than transforming your doubt into motivation. Surround yourself with support. You won't always have cheerleaders, but seek out those who do believe in you. Even one person that says, I can see your light, can change your life. It can make a huge difference. And if you don't have that person in your life, guess what? You got them today. Let it be me. I'm here to tell you, I believe in you. I believe that you can make it. Your light is bright. You can shine. You will shine. Nevertheless, in spite of everything you have encountered. Listen, history is filled with people who kept shining in spite of others trying to dim their light. Think of Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school basketball team. The coach essentially said, you're not good enough. Jordan was heartbroken, but nevertheless, he trained even harder. He used that doubt as fuel, and we know how the story turned out. He became one of the world's greatest basketball players of all time. Or you know what? Think of Oprah Winfrey. Early in her career, she was told that she wasn't fit for television. Can you imagine that? The media giant, Oprah Winfrey herself, was told that she doesn't belong on TV. She was even fired from her first TV job. But she didn't pack up and go home and give up and quit. She said, nevertheless, I have something to offer. She kept going. And today, Oprah's light has touched millions and she's made billions? What if Michael Jordan let that coach opinion permanently dim his light? What if Oprah had listened to that employer and just faded away in the background? It's a scary thought because it reminds us that the world that we live in would have lost some very bright, brilliant lights. And it drives home the point. Never let someone else decide the wattage of your shine. You decide that with your actions and your attitude. So here's the core message. When everything and everyone around you tries to dim your light, shine anyway. Shine nevertheless. Use your nevertheless as your shield and your sword, a shield against the negativity and a sword to cut through every obstacle. It's that quiet, powerful resolve on the inside that says, I hear your doubt. I see these problems, but nevertheless, watch me rise. We've talked about your internal decision to say nevertheless and how to handle external doubts and darkness. Now let's take this a little bit further, because shining your light isn't just about you alone. It's also about the people you inspire and the collective power that many lights have when they shine together. This brings me to my third and final point of our journey. By now, I hope you're feeling the energy of nevertheless stirring on the inside of you. You've seen how it can transform your personal struggles and how it helps you stand strong against outside negativity. Now imagine this. What happens when not just one person, but an entire community adopts the same mindset, nevertheless? What happens when we all commit to shining our light and also champion the light in others? That, my friend, is how this movement was born. This is the heart of Nevertheless, the movement that we're creating right now together. It's not just my movement, it's your movement. It's our movement. It's a collective of people who say, yes, I have been through the dark. I have been told I can't. I've been knocked down, but nevertheless, I rise. I will help others rise too. See, one person choosing to shine can be powerful, but when many people shine together, it's blinding in the best way. It can light up a whole community. It can even light up the world. Think about a time when you saw someone display incredible resilience or courage. Didn't it light up something on the inside of you too? Perhaps you thought, wow, if they can do that, maybe I can overcome my struggles too. This is how light spreads. This is how hope multiplies. Your nevertheless can inspire someone else's nevertheless. Let me share a quick example from history that I find so inspiring. In the 1950s, an African-American woman named Rosa Parks was ordered to give up her seat on the bus because of the color of her skin. She knew it was unjust. In that moment, everything was trying to dim her light. The law, the prejudice around her. But Rosa said, quietly, nevertheless, I will stand, or in her case, sit for what's right. She refused to move. The single act of nevertheless sparked the Montgomery bus boycott, a key event in the civil rights movement. One woman's steadfast light ignited the courage of thousands of others to demand justice. Now, most of us won't have to take a stand on a bus. Let's rewind that and we'll try it. Here we go. Now, most of us won't have to make a stand on a bus heard around the world. But every day we have smaller moments of truth where we choose to shine or to hide. And each time you choose to shine, you give permission to the person next to you to do the same thing. Courage is contagious. Positivity is contagious. Light begets light. I want you to picture something. Imagine a dark auditorium. Now imagine one person lights a candle. There's a small glow. Then another person lights theirs from that same flame. And another, and another, and another. Soon, what was a pitch black room is filled with a warm, glowing light. You can see faces now. You can move around, maybe even read or dance, all because many individual lights came together to light up this room. This is what the Nevertheless movement is about. Each of us being that candle. Each of us saying nevertheless in our own individual lives. And by doing so, giving others the bravery to light their candle too. And everyone's light is needed. Your light is needed. Your light is needed. And even your light is needed. No matter who you are, where you come from, or what you've been through, you have a light that's unique. Maybe it's your creativity. Maybe it's your humor. Maybe it's your kindness, your leadership, even your perseverance. As one of my favorite sayings goes, it's not noble or humble to dim your light. Hiding your talents doesn't serve the world at all. In fact, the world needs what you have to give. We all do. We need your ideas. We need your perspective. Most of all, we need your spirit. Nevertheless, movement is a space. It's a community where we remind each other of this truth. Where there's one of us feeling dim, others come by and say, hey, I see you. I know it's tough, but nevertheless, you will overcome this. I got your back. It's a support network for resilience and positive growth. So here's what I want us to do. Let's shine together. Don't just be a lone light. Be part of a constellation. When we link arms, when we share our nevertheless stories and encourage one another, our combined light can drive away so much darkness in this world. From personal despair to broader issues like negativity in our communities. Together, we create an atmosphere where perseverance is the norm, where every person's light is celebrated. That's the vision of Nevertheless movement. And you, sitting right here, right now, listening right now, you are an essential part of that vision. Now, having explored all the facets, your personal resolve, standing against the external dimmers, and the power of unity, let's bring it all together and look at how you and I can act on this today. I want you to leave with some clear takeaways and a personal call to action as we conclude. The power of nevertheless. Your mindset is your power. You can't control every adversity, but you can always say, nevertheless, I will persist. That choice belongs to you. It's the superpower that turns trials into triumph. Don't let anyone steal your light. Don't let anyone dim your light. Others may doubt you. They may criticize you, even discourage you. Listen, if you must, learn what you can, but don't you dare dim that light just to fit their narrative. No one gets to dim your light without your permission. Every nevertheless is a spark. When you persevere, you inspire. Your courage is to shine in the dark, and that light will be the light for someone else. Remember, your story could be the key to unlocking someone else's cage. We shine brighter together. You are not alone. Join forces with those who also choose to say, nevertheless. In your community, our lights will amplify when we come together. Together, we create a beacon of hope that can be seen for miles away. Now, here's my personal challenge to you. Here's your call to action. Think of one area in your life right now where you've been holding back or feeling defeated. Maybe you've been saying, I can't pursue that goal because, and you fill in the blank. Or maybe you've been on the verge of quitting something that really matters to you. It could be anything, a project, a hobby, a relationship that needs mending, a personal dream. You got it in your mind? Now I invite you to make nevertheless your motto starting today. Literally say it out loud if you can. Nevertheless, I will, and you fill in the blank. See, I failed before. Nevertheless, I will succeed this time. You might be saying, I feel afraid. Nevertheless, I'm going to step forward anyway. Feel that empowerment when you speak it. Words have power, and nevertheless is a game changer. I want you to take one concrete step in that area that you just thought about. Just one to start. It could be a phone call that you need to make, an application that you need to send, a conversation that you need to have, or even just writing a plan. Do it nevertheless. Do it because it moves you towards your light. This is how you shine despite the darkness, one step at a time, fueled by a nevertheless attitude. And I want to extend a heartfelt invitation. Join us in this nevertheless movement. If this message resonates with you, don't let it stop here. Be a part of this community of light shiners and resilient souls. Share nevertheless stories with one another. Tell your friend or your child or your social media followers about this mindset. Spread the word, and the word is nevertheless. Imagine the impact if even a handful of people you know started embracing this idea of nevertheless in their lives. We could spark a wildfire of positivity and perseverance all over the world. You can connect with this movement, whether you're on here through a website, coming to our meetups, joining us online, or even simply, you can join by adopting this mindset and living it every day. Start now. Be a part of Nevertheless by making that choice in your own life and encouraging others to do the same. We welcome you with open arms into this family of overcomers. As I close, I want to leave you with this image. You standing in a dark place, holding a bright light. That light is your spirit, your determination, your gifts. The darkness may press in, but it cannot overcome you unless you let it. You have a choice. And when all seems against you, you will say, nevertheless, I will shine. Nevertheless, I will shine. Remember, you are stronger than your challenges. You are brighter than your darkest hour. Every time life tries to dim you, ignite that power of nevertheless. You'll not only find your way forward, but you'll become a lighthouse for others still searching in the dark. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and for listening and committing to shine bright. I believe in you, and I'm excited to see how you rise, how you persevere, and how you inspire others to do so. This is just the beginning. From here on out, nevertheless isn't just a word, it's a way of life. Welcome to the Nevertheless movement. Now go out there and let your light shine no matter what. Nevertheless, you are never the less.